City Council is asking Oaklanders to come down to Oakland City Hall and give their opinion, give your opinion, give your view on the idea of changing the Oakland City Charter. Should we have a new city charter with an even stronger mayor, or one that gives the council more power? Now, you have to be careful for those people who say, hey, look, the mayor doesn't have a lot of power, the mayor isn't strong. That's not true. All right. I worked under two types of Oakland governmental structures when I was economic advisor to Oakland Mayor L.E. Harris, and then the organizer and the leader of the effort to bring the 2005 Super Bowl to Oakland. We lost to Jacksonville for that right in 2000, but I digress. And what I learned is that it doesn't really matter the structure. What matters is the person. I'm not saying that the changes that are being requested aren't important, because they are important to a significant number of Oaklanders to get this far. But the real bottom line is that the reason why this change is requested is because Oakland Mayor Barbara Lee perceives that she doesn't have enough power. And a number of council members also feel that they're disrespected by staff, and that staff holds up the specter of these elected officials being accused of breaking the law because the Oakland City Charter has a non-tampering law with staff. In other words, they can't call staff and say, hey, I need you to fix my street right now, that sort of thing. I think there are adjustments that need to be made like that one, but an overall wholesale adjustment isn't necessary. Yes, I've come to accept that Oaklanders want a mayor that has power. So therefore, if Oakland Mayor Barbara Lee wants to have the power, give it to her. I think it is not proper to have uh, this look of allowing a white male candidate to have more power, Jerry Brown, but not having a black woman with more power to effectively do her job in a different era, given legal changes and social changes, right? Now, here is the problem that Barbara does have, in that a lot of problems she's facing now, she could have avoided by hiring Latunda Simmons as her city administrator and firing Justin Johnson. But she didn't do that. And she didn't make the call to clean house and put in her own people that know Oakland better and that live in Oakland and that have great track records of getting things done, and also great track records of raising money from developers for fundraising, or funding, or rather for helping developers raise money, I should say, because the developers don't have the money. They are the developers, they're not the money holders all the time. Anyway, point I'm making is that Barbara thinks she doesn't have the power to achieve what she wants to achieve, but she can hire and fire the city administrator. And if you want to focus on an example of a person who did have power, well, even though she says she needed more of it later, Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf. She was good at reaching down and firing somebody if she needed to. But again, I'm going to go with those, including Mayor Lee and Mayor Schaaf, who believe that the mayor needs more power, because, and also my boss and longtime friend, Oakland Mayor Elihu Harris, who say, hey, look, there's no veto power. So what are we doing? So let's work to give the mayor the power that person needs to get the job done, and not have this look that we are not giving Barbara power because she's a black woman, or an older black woman at that, right? There is that kind of thought coming about, that kind of language coming out. I think it's highly disrespectful. Now, regarding the alternative that Stephen Falk put forth, my view is this. I still feel that Stephen is more of a carpetbagger, because he was working in Lafayette for 28 years as city manager, and then decided to move over to Oakland because, well, he got essentially kicked out of his job. Uh, and now he wants to come over and basically remake Oakland into I guess, his idea of Lafayette or something like that. I have never met the man. He knows exactly who I am because I felt that when he took the job and Libby assigned him the job, that he was the wrong person for the job, and I said so. I felt that we needed somebody that was more contemporary with respect to Oakland and had a better understanding of tax increment financing and how to implement it. And that was not then, it is not now, Stephen Falk. So there you go. Stephen has had many opportunities to call me and talk with me. He's never taken them up. He's done it with other people I know. So hey, look, he's got something against me. Good for him. Um, but what's going on is that Steve has made it so much about him that it's easy to sort of say, okay, I'm not going to deal with that because that's Stephen's thing. But what it avoids is the simple fact of the matter is that we need to tweak the system there because it was designed for Jerry. It was designed for Oakland Mayor Jerry Brown. It was designed because he didn't want to be at city council. It was designed to be sort of quasi-powerful, enough for him to be effectively powerful through the city administrator, but not of the same kind of effective level of power in other cities. Not like San Francisco, because even Daniel Lurie had issues that have caused San Francisco to form its own version of true strong mayor for San Francisco. Okay. But anyway, there it is. And the upshot of what I'm saying is that, first of all, yeah, I think mayor needs veto power, but the bottom line is a truly strong mayor exercises power regardless of the structure. All right, subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube and bookmark ZennyReport.com. We'll see you.